Connor Rodgers' birthday today. Another guy who could have...
we could have done that, too.
Happy birthday, dog.
Steven didn't even pitch the idea of
That's
Connor drinking
outrageous.
free.
Happy birthday, Connor Rodgers. Finally eligible to drink.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
good. Finally legal.
Yeah,
Well done.
Oh, Connor Rodgers. Chiming in. Thanks, lads. Specifically Jay, since producer Steven.
Yeah,
We
that's
got
right.
one on Connor Rodgers.
Happy birthday, Connor. Go throw away your fake Connor. Throw away your fake ID. Go into a bar and order a drink legally.
You're a grown
for the first
man
time in your
now.
life.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. That's right. I get the drink free today.
The day after your birthday.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
when
To be
people-
fair, I wasn't here. We'll give Steven a pass.
Well, you know
No, we
what?
don't get to
Stop it.
I'll let you guys roll the
What it
bus
should have
over.
been, what it should have been is yesterday you should have drank for free your 21st birthday.
That's
you know,
right.
like everyone
First beer
celebrates.
ever.
First beer ever. How did it taste?
Oh, man. I've been waiting for this one.
I
Yep,
bet.
Yep.
Was it delicious?
Yep.
And then what? Then who should drink free today? To be honest with you,
America.
Is America. Literally, I was going to say everyone that had to watch that game last night.
Oh, my goodness. Well, they can drink for free today. Yeah, that was a game.
Yeah, I flipped over to Suns Clippers, and then I flipped straight back because that wasn't a good game either.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's not good.
My wife was just like, this is like a high school game. My wife pops in and out, and she's like, this is like a high school game.
Good
Is this
take,
a-"
Beth.
She
Good
literally,
take.
she literally
Yeah.
said, "Is this a high school game?" At first, and I was just like, "No, it's a pro game." And she's like, "Really?"
Bo Nix is like a caricature of a Friday Night Lights character who's struggling
He
to play
is.
football. He
is.
looks like an actor. He looks
Right.
like an actor playing a quarterback.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Right,
not good.
and the girlfriend has been seeing the backup, and the town doesn't like him.
Yeah,
And
the other
Friday
guy,
Night Lights.
the other guy's J.J. McCarthy casted in the movie. Those are the two guys in the
Yeah.
movie.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Sean Payton is very cinematic as well. Sean Payton was born to be in Varsity Blues or something.
Yes, it's a very good call.
Anyway, the
And then-
Broncos are 8-2.
Unbelievable.
But anyway,
like
Jonathan
this.
Medici also with the Friday parlay here. Connor gets a belated birthday drinks free, plus 300. Barry's Flexual Frustration includes a Butte injury.
Oh, man.
Plus 200. The regulars power rankings have a new number one, plus 1,200. I don't think that's going to
Clark
cash,
Brady.
Jonathan Medici. My Flexual Frustration pun. I mean, I could throw a Butte in there, but it's
Low-hanging
completely
fruit.
different.
It's
I've done that.
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it is low-hanging fruit. The other comment that we didn't get to mention, I forget who said
Ved.
it, but Was
Ved,
it from Ved?
yes.
Ved about how Connor Rodgers giving the regulars for a run. Who knew on your off day?
I'll hop in the chat.
You were
I'm
celebrating.
not above it.
You were celebrating
Above it
your
at all.
birthday by watching us.
That was everybody asked what my birthday plans were, is to watch the show that I host on my one day off.
He's a man of the people, Connor
Right.
Rodgers. That's
It
why
was
he'll
nice
have
to be
many
in
more
there with the
birthdays.
regulars.
He misses us.
Yeah.
I did.
That's what it is.
I did.
He missed us. I get that. I get that as well. All right, shall we?
we have to
I
talk
think we've
about-
avoided to talk about this game long enough.
It's
we
just
tried.
Connor's other day that he's not with us. He has to watch the New York Jets.
Right.
so every other
You can see why I gravitate back to this
It
day.
is. It really is a life of sadness.
It's misery.
Nets, Jets,
Misery.
Rangers.
Mets, Jets, and happy hour,
Yeah.
like the three pillars of sadness.
This is my happy place. Yes, these are the notable fantasy performances. There are two players that scored 10-plus points. Ashton Genty and Troy Franklin. That's it. After that, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Lockett. If you started Bo Nix, I apologize. That's going to hurt.
I did.
I don't know if anyone started Geno Smith, but if you did, I also apologize. We got to hear from Bo Nix after the game on a very unhappy Denver crowd.
Well, I've been booed before and I'll be booed again, so not going to be the last time. It's obviously unfortunate. You don't want your own fans booing you, but, it's part of it.
All right. It is part of it. But you know what stops the booing? When you're not terrible
Playing
against
well.
a bad defense. I mean, look, a fix for Knicks. Well done, Dev. That's a pretty good headline there.
There's no fix.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, he's been up, he's been down. Bo Nix, like against Las Vegas, he was off targeted almost 29% of his passes, 28.6. That's the second highest by a quarterback in a game this season. Second lowest completion percentage on passes, 15 or more air yards this season. That's 32%. Those are stats that tell you what you know if you watch the game. He's not good.
Right now,
He's not good. Now, it hasn't always translated into not fantasy points. Despite not
Sure.
being good, he's managed to put up fantasy points. There, he had the big game against Dallas. He had the crazy comeback against the Giants. But just from a person, this is somebody who, like, this should have been a good game last night, right? Again, like he's been able to put up fantasy points. You're like, the Raiders don't have a good defense. I started him. This was my dumb logic. I started Bo Nix. I'm in a guillotine league, and I started Bo Nix. I have Mahomes on a bye, so I was Bo Nix or Jared Goff. I'm like, boy, I'm worried about Goff against my Commanders just because I think they're going to get so big. I think it might be just a big Gibbs and Montgomery day, and that Montgomery, that Goff is like, he's with like 175 with a touchdown, maybe 2 and 2 picks. But I'm like, Nix is going to light up the Raiders. Like after they've struggled, like this is like, 40 yards rushing, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
Should have been a floor there. Should have been a floor.
And it wasn't, and he was awful. And he scored 5.8 points or whatever. I'm amazed he got to that.
Yeah.
There
was no
got him
offense
through
in this
the
game.
touchdown.
There was none.
Yeah.
They were dominated.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of order, huge proponent of order. Patrick Mahomes needs to restore order next week. We can't have the Broncos getting away with this and winning the AFC West. Just can't have it happen. Can't have this team getting a 1 seed. Where the defense is good. The defense is very good and will get better when Patrick Sutton comes back. But Bo Nix he's been bad all year. It's not just this game. He got away with it in the Jets game. That's the one that really kills me because your Jets, they should have. If Tyrod comes in the third quarter, they win that game, and Bo Nix all of a sudden gets held to account. Instead, he's 8-2.
But that's the point, right? They just keep quote playing with their food, right? In terms of they screwed around with the Jets and they should have lost that game. They should have lost to the Giants. It wasn't until a crazy fourth quarter comeback that they end up winning.
Great comment here by T. Spitsky. Bo Nix should try corner like Ryan Gosling and Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Which is one of the great call-outs, a little hidden kind of nugget that Ryan Gosling was in Remember the Titans. It's like how...
Did he play Sunshine? Was that who is it?
He's a very bit part role. He's not a major character.
I mean, I haven't seen Remember the Titans since it came out,
Does
whatever.
he have a crazy dad in that movie? Then he does come in heroically to play defensive back.
Let me tell you.
He's not a big part.
He doesn't look like crazy, stupid love Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
I'll tell you that much. He looks like just a very normal kid. It reminds me of Tom Cruise in All the Right Moves, where he plays a 5'6" cornerback.
Corner. Seems unlikely. Yes.
And All the Right Moves. The big move is let's play goal line defense the entire game. That was the big defensive. Watch the movie. That movie is crazy.
It's a ridiculous film. It's an absolutely ridiculous film.
That or draft day.
And then there's a penalty, and they mad, but then the coach somehow gets a defensive coordinator job at Cal Polytech, which is the one school the kid wanted to go to, and it's a happy ending there. I ruined All the Right Moves for you specifically so you don't have to watch it because you don't want to watch it.
Yeah. There's an incredible showdown between the coach and Tom Cruise. The we didn't quit, you quit scene is an all-timer.
It's an all-time.
It's kind of like the Point Break of bad football movies.
It always comes back to Point
Break. Just
Break.
remind me in the commercial break to tell you, there's a very off-color story that I know about that movie that I cannot say on air. Just remind me to tell you about that I always think about when I hear All the Right Moves. But back to Bo Nix. What do you do with him? I don't think you can. The problem is that while he's bad NFL-wise, fantasy-wise he's been inconsistent. But I don't know that you can start him. Here's what I would say. I think if you survive this week or whatever, right? If you've started him, next week they play the Chiefs, as you mentioned. I'm not starting him against the Chiefs. Then they've got a bye. So I don't want Bo Nix for 2 weeks. See how he does a bit against the Chiefs. Then they're at Washington, so that could be fruitful.
But we thought that last night
against the Raiders. That's the point. If he can't produce against the Raiders, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
They have no pass rush.
He was good. He was good NFL and fantasy-wise against the Texans. That's what screws everything up.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't do anything against the Jets either. They're just all up and down. This is brutal. I don't understand how they're so. J.K. Dobbins, on a night in where nothing else was working, J.K. Dobbins, 18 for 77, catches 1 ball for 7 yards, which is his receiving prop was 2.5 yards, so he cashes the over there as well, but doesn't get into the end zone. And I don't understand, they didn't give it to him. The one thing that was working is that J.K. Dobbins was able to run the ball, and they just kept, I know 18 carries is a lot, but just felt like they didn't go to it in crucial moments. They keep using R.J. Harvey in weird ways.
Very odd ways. 6 touches, and it's always closer to the red area. It's not there's not really a lot of schemed ways to get R.J. Harvey consistently going. No. But then when they do get him involved, it feels like it kills Dobbins' flow. There's just no real rhyme or reason to figuring out this backfield right now. That's just the honest truth. It's a tough one there. I think you probably still have to. But I thought my bet last night was for J.K. Dobbins to get into the end zone, and I should have been right on that, and I was not.
kudos to you, though. You called Raiders plus 9.5. Obviously, that cashed.
Yeah,
To be fair, no one got in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Ved FF Happy Hour regular says we're higher on Troy Franklin going forward. I think this leads us to a conversation about Franklin, but also Courtland Sutton, who is on my team. So he's terrible, right? He fits in with the rest of the crew on my team.
Showdown between our guys last night. I had Brock Bowers, you had Courtland Sutton.
my
Brock
goodness,
Bowers
God.
does nothing. He has one catch,
Slap
but
fight.
pretty much almost played you to a draw. You've got like a 1.7 point advantage so far.
To be honest with you, if you told me we'll come out of this game and I'll be leading you, which I am,
it's a slight
5.4 to
win.
3.7.
Oh, easy there, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
I'll take it because I think that Brock Bowers is the number one guy in his position.
Sure.
Right.
Courtland Sutton is not. So if I come out of that with a draw or even a 1.5 point,
If you lose this week,
Well, I'm going to try not to.
Yes.
I'm going to try and win.
you're now like a 35-point favorite
listen,
instead of like the 45 or something.
The
But
superstars are going to start rolling out on Sunday. JSN, Amon-Ra, Bradley. None of this 3.7 point garbage.
But in fairness, Brock Bowers is a superstar.
He was, yeah, apparently. Though he was completely submarined by Geno Smith, who... Geno just looks broken to me, Connor.
I mean, obviously the Broncos pass rush is insane,
Yeah.
and he's a guy that holds the ball, and they can't protect him to do that. So he was on the turf the whole night. But even a couple of times where he had a pocket, he missed throws that he doesn't always miss.
He had one to Tyler Lockett that would have gotten the first down, where it was clear that he was just... It's like C.J. Stroud at the end of last year, just like rattled by expecting the
Sailing
inferred
a
pressure
couple throws.
was going to come. So Vegas passing game, I don't feel good about anyone except for Brock Bowers. I don't feel good about anyone on the Raiders except for Bowers and Genty, and I don't think you're starting anyone else going forward.
I think that's fair. The whole passing game was just brutal. Trey Tucker, who I had to start in a deep league, a 14-team league where I've got a lot of guys on bye, I had to start Trey Tucker. I'm like, oh, he's got a touchdown. And then Dante Thornton with the holding penalty, or the pick play, basically, the pass interference. Connor, is Dante Thornton the worst player in the NFL right now?
Is Michael Clemens still in the league?
Yeah, he is. Man, the guy that plays the most that's the worst right now.
Yeah.
That drop deep ball was insane. That was Geno's one great throw
Yes.
of the night. It was perfect. It was right on it.
Dante Thornton is
and
awful.
That's what he does. Like, if he's not going to catch a deep ball every game, there's no reason to have him on
wide
the
open.
field.
It's a great route.
There was only one person that was happy about Dante Thornton's pick play, which screwed up the touchdown, and that's Jack Besh, whose holding penalty called back like a 40-yard run by Ashton Genty, and Jack Besh is like, you're like, hey, that guy's a much bigger F up than I tomorrow in film work. In the film room. I agree with you. I mean, I just think until we see some sort of, you're starting Bowers and Genty, but after that, until there's somebody that emerges, like some sort of consistency. I want to go back, though, to Courtland Sutton. We're closing it out on Aaron Cashman. Keep it open and close it on Trey Tucker. He's still the number 2 target on the Raiders. He's still the number 2 target on the Raiders, but I'm closing it out.
Doesn't matter if you're the number 2 target in hell.
Yes.
That's what this passing game is at the moment.
Yes.
It's Dante's Inferno out there. You don't want any part of it outside of Brock Bowers.
No. They do have Dallas next week, but I don't even think that's enough. I don't think that's enough to keep up the hope.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. I do want to go back to Courtland Sutton, though, because somebody asked me on Twitter, like, please talk about this, and I think this is a controversial thing. I want to give a shout out to my fantasy life team, actually, because we actually put out an article about potential drops. And so there was like a social graphic, and one of the potential drops was Courtland Sutton, and they got flamed. Wow, Courtland Sutton, he's a top. And the argument was, like, look how inconsistent he is. Look at the target share. Like, not necessarily convinced this is somebody that you want drop. And by the way, it's now his 3rd straight game. And shout out to that. So my writers got absolutely flamed for it. And I think they were actually turned out right. 3rd straight game with under 11 fantasy points. Since week 6, he's wide receiver 44 in points per game. And in games in which he doesn't score a touchdown, he's basically become a very touchdown-dependent. He's similar to a touchdown-dependent tight end, just at the wide receiver position. In games in which he doesn't score a touchdown this year, he's averaging just over 9 fantasy points per game. He'd be wide receiver 46 on a points per game basis. Since week 5, he hasn't seen a target share above 23%. He had a 15% target share in this one. They're spreading it around. Troy Franklin is coming on. And shout out to our friend Matt Harmon, who points out the fact that Courtland Sutton, when he gets man coverage, he's terrific. But against zone coverage, he can't get open. And that's the Raiders played almost, a lot of zone last night. And so just, shout out to Matt Harmon and Reception Perception on that one. And to my fantasy life team, we pointed this out as well. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, my team's terrible, so I have to keep rolling him out there, but I don't think he's a must-start anymore.
Well, and here's the problem, guys. To piggyback off your point about man versus zone, now teams are starting to play him that way because he has 83 receiving snaps against man coverage this year. He has 291 against zone.
Yeah.
So the opportunities against man are few and far between where he's great against them, but you're not guaranteed many of them.
If you're a defense coordinator and you know this, you're like, why are we playing man?
Yeah, which is strange because usually, like, you would rather a receiver be better against man coverage, more predictive going forward. Just the ability to beat the guy covering you is more predictive across the whole full season. But he seemingly hasn't figured it out, at least in the scheme of this offense,
and
about how to beat them.
Bo too, though.
Yeah,
but I was just going to say,
right.
yes.
It's bigger than Courtland Sutton. Like, Bo is not attacking windows against zone with confidence like we saw sometimes last year from him as a rookie. This year, I don't see it at all.
Well, the book on Bo is that it's either short stuff or it's deep stuff, and there's not that much intermediate stuff. There's not a lot of sophistication in the throw tree.
No, and it makes sense on man because Sutton is such a good 50-50 ball winner.
Yes.
That it doesn't matter if he's open. Just throw it somewhere near him. He's such a big-bodied guy, and he's so good at high pointing the ball.
Killed the Giants in the fourth quarter.
Right, exactly right.
Just man opportunities.
Screw it, Bo. It doesn't matter if he's open. Just where's 14? Find him. But now. So yes, I suppose to answer your question, do we feel better about Troy Franklin moving forward? Sure, but I don't feel good about this offense at all. No. Again, they're playing Kansas City next week. Who'll be off of the bye. Yeah. Huge game for Kansas City because they're going to be 2 games behind the Broncos in the division.
Here. Chiefs 3.5 point favorites on the road there, by the way. So
yeah, give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. Andy Reid off of a bye is like almost undefeated. Yeah. So I think the Chiefs win that, and then the Broncos will have a week to figure things out.
Here's the Week 10 injuries that we're tracking. Brock Purdy has been trying to work his way back from this toe injury. By the way, when asked about this recently, Kyle Shanahan said it's probably something he just has to deal with all year. James Cook with the ankle, although he returned back to practice after missing Wednesday in some limited capacity on Thursday. Rico Dowdle, Alvin Kamara with an ankle, Aaron Jones with that shoulder injury. Garrett Wilson is back at practice. Aaron Glenn did say this morning that he expects all their injured players to be getting on the right side of things for this weekend's game. So obviously that includes Garrett Wilson, Roma Dunze with an ankle and heel injury, DJ Moore with a hip and groin, Brian Thomas Jr. dealing with the low-high ankle sprain, as we called it, or they called it. Harold Fannin Jr. with a hamstring as well.
I just got a notification. He returned to practice today. So Fannin back out there. So sorry, Jay. You're going to have to face the Fanler.
Oh, great. I'm terrified. Yeah, you can have him. I'll have Jackson Smith and Jigba on the other side.
I will say the Jets' defense is so bad against tight ends, he might have like a 14-point.
It's a little annoying. Yeah,
things are lining up for him.
It's fine.
No one believed in us.
Yes.
It's fine.
Come on. I'm just saying, Jay, you have a lot to lose here. I've got nothing to lose.
That's fine.
Here's the latest on Rhamondre Stevenson. He didn't practice on Friday. Looking like another TreVeyon Henderson start, but I think the question is, what does that mean?
I'm at running back 17. He played 75% of the snaps. Now, listen, you don't like this matchup against Tampa Bay. Buccaneers allowed the 5th fewest rushing yards to opposing running backs, but they do give up the most receiving yards to opposing running backs. So the hope here is that they get TreVeyon Henderson in space, and Drake May can do a couple of dump-offs here, and we can see the big playability that we saw at Ohio State, that we saw in the preseason as well. For those that are truly desperate, Terrell Jennings, he's my running back 34, got 12 touches last week, including Connor, 50% of the team's red zone rushes. It's weird. They just don't seem to trust Henderson in close, and so Jennings ended up getting the score last
Henderson
week.
at all.
No, they've done everything they can not to play him. The fact that Terrell Jennings is getting this many touches when Rhamondre's hurt. Terrell Jennings might be like the sleeper anytime touchdown play of the weekend.
You're just like, are the Patriots just like, hey, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, you out there? Hey, Corey Dillon, want to come back? LeGarrette Blount. Yeah, exactly. James White. What's going on? What's the Haps? Anything.
Anyone but TreVeyon Henderson right now. So
it's so weird. Jonas Gray, all's forgiven. Come back.
Looks like Quinshon Boutte as well, guys, will most likely not be playing this week.
Yeah.
Pop Douglas, a little bit of a bump for him.
Where's Stephon Diggs gone? Where is he gone? He had 200-yard games back-to-back against the Panthers and the Bills. All right, he's back. Stephon Diggs, top 10 wide receiver. He's basically done nothing ever since then. He's gone to the end
solid.
zone.
He just hasn't had any big splash plays. He hasn't had, just massive numbers.
14 yards.
He's had a couple of games where like in the 80s or something like that.
7 for 69.
Yeah,
he doesn't run all the routes.
No,
When you think Stephon Diggs, you're like, oh, he's always out there. Yeah. He's not. So that's part of it too. Andrew asked us, guys, Henderson, Monangai, or Aaron Jones in a full PPR. Well, we don't know Aaron Jones' status officially
That's true. We don't know Aaron Jones is.
Check the
I
latest.
think the answer has to still be Henderson here because we expect DeAndre Swift to come back. We don't know the status yet of Aaron Jones. He's been a limited practice participant, but it always makes me nervous. But I think here again, I have Henderson at 17. I'm banking on them using him in the passing game, and also I'm banking on the Buccaneers off of the bye, getting their offense fixed and being able to, score points here. And so they'll have to throw. That Drake May and company will have to throw.
Aaron Jones is saying he expects to play, even though he's been banged up this week. So we'll see. Factor that into your decision as well.
That would be good. But Henderson, I think, is still my answer there.
Our next one here, guys.
No, I agree. Aaron Jones.
I don't feel great about it.
Yeah. It just reminds me when CeeDee Lamb said, yeah, I'm good, I'm all good. And then he had a high ankle sprain and was out for 3 weeks. Sometimes players are not the best diagnosis.
No, never listen to players. Yeah. Never listen to players.
Our next group here, guys, Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin have yet to practice this week. So the injured Bucks stay injured. This Chris Godwin injury is lingering. The Bucky Irving injury is lingering. I guess the biggest new question is, Matthew, is Sean Tucker's workload going to continue to go upwards?
I think so. Played 38% of the team's running back touches in Week 8 before the bye. And Rachaad White hasn't been great here, right? So, look, again, you probably have to start him because I don't know, he's going to be a starting running back. But there is cause for concern. Sean Tucker continuing to eat into his workload. And then this matchup with New England, right? Patriots allowed the 4th fewest fantasy points to running backs. No running back has rushed for more than 50 yards against the Patriots this year. So you're hoping that Rachaad White gets some passes and falls into the end zone. But I don't know that you feel great about this matchup or the fact that he's going to get all the work. Because, again, we think Tucker's a good player. And when you're getting almost 40% of the team's running back touches, so.
Regular Josh asks, with the annoying...
And to be clear, Josh, you can call yourself regular Josh, but you need to show up to really be able to. I think that should be effort. Yeah, you're pending regular Josh. We haven't seen you that often.
Maybe he's just a regular Josh.
Maybe he's a lurker.
Yes.
Maybe he's just normal Josh, mid-pack Josh.
Just a casual Josh.
Just a casual Josh. Nothing exciting Josh. It's kind of a normal Josh.
With the annoying Bucky Irving setback, who do you prefer rest of the season, Bucky or Rico in PPR?
I think it's got to be Rico. Yeah, he's healthy.
Rico's an RB1
we just don't know when Bucky's coming back.
Yeah. Legitimately.
Rico Dowdle's the truth.
I do like regular Josh's avatar, though. It's an old Game Boy.
Wow.
Yes, it's an old Nintendo Game Boy. An old school one. Yeah. It's pretty good, I think.
Our next one here, guys. DeAndre Swift is back practicing in full. He is going to play.
You have Monungai.
But, Jay, do you think you could still start Monungai? Desperation flex? The Giants' run defense is that bad at times.
I think he can, but again, obviously his impact is going to be significantly diluted by the return of DeAndre Swift. Just given the matchup, given the fact that the Bears are 4.5-point favorites at home against that run defense, it's probably going to be a poor man's Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery type situation. But, you can start David Montgomery pretty much every week. You can probably start Monungai this week.
Yeah, my prediction is going to be somewhere 60-40, 65-35 in favor of Swift. But when you think
scores.
There you go. Giants give up rushing touchdowns at the 5th highest rate. And so Monungai, a week after, by the way, and we showed the video on Monday, right? He not only did he rush for 177 yards, he got the game ball. And the team went crazy for him.
Yeah.
This is a 7th-round rookie.
Right.
Seems to be, really well liked on the team. You see the interviews, really humble kid. And so I think just from building a culture, I know this is going to sound insane, right? But from a building team culture, that's what Ben Johnson's trying to do. He's trying to, change the culture at the Bears. After a kid does that and gets the game ball and the whole team goes crazy for him, you're not suddenly nope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, DeAndre Swift can't lose his job. You also don't want to have a veteran lose his job because he was out. Yeah. But I think Monungai has earned a bigger role going forward from his performance on the field and just, thinking logically. Swift has had this groin injury now for almost a month.
Yeah.
And even if he's back, you don't want to. The Bears are in the thick of this here. So they
Swift might have saw that performance and was like, I'm practicing this week. That's what
right.
it felt like.
1,000%.
You're back Thursday. You've been practicing on Thursday in weeks.
Oh, yeah. Like you saw Jay hosting and you're
I
got to get back there.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm still trying to win that Pikaki as best host of Fantasy Football Happy Hour.
And it's a tight race right now.
Listen, Ben Johnson, if you're watching, don't listen to Matthew. To give DeAndre Swift, give him Jonathan Taylor type of workload. I want him with 95% of the carries. Kind of Monungai beating me.
Yeah.
Javier Jose, Monungai or Vidal. Cheers, regulars.
Yeah, this one's kind of a toss-up here because I know Vidal's been up and down, but because DeAndre Swift is back and because Vidal is used on all 3 downs, I think it's Vidal. I have them like really right next to each other, both as kind of flexes this week, but I'm going to go with Kamani Vidal. I feel better about his workload. You know, there's still an unknown with Swift back what the workload is going to be from one guy.
Yeah, end of the day, it's a starting running back against the backup.
That's probably the best way to look at it. Our next one, guys, Brian Thomas Jr. was not practicing on Thursday. Maybe a little boost right away for Jacoby Myers if BTJ doesn't go. I mean, who else?
Potentially. Like, I'd have him like as a wide receiver 3-4 kind of on that range, right? But also, how about Parker Washington? Liam Cohen says Parker Washington going to stay in the slot for now. It's not a great matchup against Houston, but they're going to have to throw for someone because I don't think they'll be able to run the ball against the Texans, who have the 6th best run defense over the last month in the NFL. Now, I mean, it's just a good defense all the time. But, you know, does Parker Washington, who is on my team. This is my ragtag bunch. It's
a Land of Misfit Toys team.
Dude, I am piecing this together left and right. I got, guys out for the year. I got guys on the bye. I got guys that just suck. Like, I am piecing this together with Band-Aid and Scotch tape. But yes, Parker Washington will be out there on Sunday for my team against JSN. I'm countering your JSN and Amon-Ra St. Brown with Parker Washington and Harold Fannin Jr. It's so desperate. But yeah, how about Parker Washington though? I mean, I just think Parker Washington, because Jacoby Myers is just getting there, because BTJ is banged up here, that there's a scenario where Parker Washington leads the Jaguars in targets, receptions, and receiving yards this Sunday.
Very
again,
plausible.
it's the Texans, so I think he's still a wide receiver 3, but you could do worse than Parker Washington this Sunday.
Yep. If you're watching D'Amico Ryans, you don't let Parker Washington beat you. You let anyone else beat you. You can't go down to the sword of Parker Washington. This game is going to be terrible, by the way.
Yes.
Jags, Texas, no PTJ, no CJ. The total is the same as Browns, Jets.
Yeah,
this is what we've got in the AFC South.
No,
it's not ideal.
It's absolutely brutal here. But I would just I've spent the last 2 days just rolling over producer Steven with the bus.
Yeah.
But I'd like to congratulate him on one quick thing here.
I thought you were going to say I'm going to continue
No.
to.
I want to congratulate producer Steven right here. I'm going to say something nice here, which is last night's game was such an abomination. But the fact that a Thursday night abomination game didn't have the Jaguars on it,
or the Titans.
There you go. That's a win. Yeah. That's a win for producer Steven, who is a diehard Jaguars fan. That could have been much. You say a 10-7 Thursday night game were the Jaguars in there? And no, for once.
It's not even in the AFC South.
Right. You'd think that was
the
a Jaguars.
second choice would be the Titans.
Right.
They weren't involved
always.
either.
Yeah, you'd think that was Jaguars-Titans. If I told you a Thursday night game was 10-7, you're like, oh, it was a Jaguars-Titans week
It'd be the night we're doing the show from the Jags bar.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
No, we have to do it.
All right, Valiant Vincent has a question. Jacoby Myers, Alec Pierce, or Tez Johnson this week? Jay, you're a Colts man. Is Alec Pierce the answer here?
Yeah, I'm interested and as much as you can't trust coaches, I am interested to just hear as the week progresses about what the expectations are around Jacoby Myers. Because in a nutshell, Jacoby Myers would probably be the choice as the number 1 wide receiver for Trevor Lawrence, particularly if BTJ can't go. But there's a chance that Jacoby Myers is like 45-50% of the snaps, isn't super involved, and is getting manned up by Derek Stingley, which wouldn't be ideal. Kind of want to go Alec Pierce, who had an excellent game last week.
I kind of do too. I think Josh Downs is banged up as well, right? And so
Pittman's banged up.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
Michael Pittman.
Oh, and Pittman's banged up too. So I think Alec Pierce could be a sneaky start this week for the Colts. I am nervous about Jacoby Myers, to your point. Like, how much does he play? Brand new offense here. You mentioned the defense there. Texans give the second fewest fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers. And obviously with the target monster that is Parker Washington, obviously the 50% target share that Parker Washington likely to get in this game.
Can I just say that even though the Texans' great defense, he shut down wide receivers, they don't shut down my man JSN. He did whatever he wanted in that game.
All year.
He absolutely destroyed Derek Stingley. He's just completely unguardable.
I think he's the offensive player of the year.
That's what Jonathan Taylor has to say about that on Sunday.
But somebody stopped Jonathan Taylor last week.
It's a good point. But Parker Washington, who many people call a poor man's Jackson Smith and Jigba, or JSN East, a lot of people call him that as well.
That one's been picking up steam. By the way, Alec Pierce the last 3 weeks, 90% of the routes, 25% target share, 55% of the air yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 73 utilization score. I think he's very clearly the guy of the 3. that we were asked about. K Gemma, always good to see K Gemma in the chat. Check Jay for an Alec Pierce tat. My lord. Hello.
I like good receivers, particularly when they're for the shoe, as Alec Pierce is by definition. He's a very good player. And I watch him every snap, every week, because I love my
I will
Colts.
give you credit, though. You know I love to give you crap, but I will give you credit here because you are, you're Johnny Bandwagon. You are, Jumpin' Jay. But you have been on Alec Pierce's. You have been on Alec Pierce from the beginning. You have never wavered in your love for Alec Pierce.
I got a lot of Colts opinions. Yeah, I'm just ready. I was hoping this would just be transformed into a Colts show, and we could talk defense as well. We could talk about Leatu Latu's pressure numbers and everything. But no, Alec Pierce, he's really good.
Just turn into a Colts podcast.
Yeah. The shoe.
Yeah.
Colts happy hour.
Shoe
Colts
corner.
happy hour.
Like
shoe
a spin-off. All the lights are blue.
I'm trying to think of like what the name would be. Our Colts podcast.
Yeah. Something has to go around a shoe.
Well, hang on. Well, Connor has a Jets podcast called Badlands. Could we be like Shoeland? Oh, that's not bad. I was gonna go with Midland because it's in the middle.
Yeah, the Midlands.
Midlands.
I like that.
Midlands.
That's the one.
All right, there you go. Midlands, our Indianapolis Colts podcast.
I'm just excited that the fine nation of Germany gets to share in my love of the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm surprised you're not flying over to watch it.
Me too.
It's the longest injury report ever. Just when we were excited about Tory Horton. Yeah, I know. Stay out there, Denny. Stay strong. We're going to get to you. Just when we were excited about Tory Horton, the Seahawks trade for Rashid Shaheed, and Tory Horton did not practice on Thursday, both with groin and shin injuries. Cooper Kupp was limited. So, I mean, I think the real question is, Matthew, what does this mean for Rashid Shaheed? Because he's played in Kubiak's offense
That's
before.
the point.
It shouldn't be like a real ramp up here.
No, it shouldn't be. And Darnold's playing so well. I have Rashid Shaheed as wide receiver 37 right now. But if Horton and Kupp are both out, I think he's in the 25 range. I think he's, a mid-tier wide receiver through 3 because, again, the familiarity with Kubiak's system and not like, 5 years ago they played together. This is last year.
Yep.
Right? I mean, so I think it should be fairly easy for him to step in, especially because, by the way, it's not like Shaheed's doing a bunch of different. It's like, hey, Shaheed, run long. Hey, Shaheed, run 20 yards and then go in.
Yep.
Hey, go 20 yards and then do a button hook. Like, whatever. Like, there's not going to be a bunch of, crazy stuff for Rashid Shaheed and his skill level.
He should be able to make an impact right away. I'm excited to see him in this offense.
Yeah.
It's somehow going to get better.
Yep.
So, now we get to talk about Harold Fannin Jr. again, Jay. Lucky you. He didn't practice on Thursday, but obviously expected to play.
Yeah, he returned to practice today, so you hope he can go as well. I would say if for some reason he's out, we'll see the practice report. Maybe it's limited, maybe whatever, he can't go. If for some reason Fannin's out, it's worth noting the Browns are third in tight end target share, especially since Dylan Gabriel took over. Njoku would be a top 10 play, but right now I just have him as a low end tight end 2 because this is a Fannin offense. Everyone knows that. The offense rolls through Harold Fannin.
It's someone else's offense, and you'll hear about that in segment 3, Matthew. Little teaser.
So Jay does have Quinshon Judkins here. So again, in a game in which Courtland Sutton somehow outscored Brock Bowers, which would not normally happen. Can you imagine if Harold Fannin somehow outscores Quinshon Judkins against your Jets? I think Judkins has a 3-touchdown game coming up.
Right, no Quinn Williams.
On a team that was bad against the run before, they traded away Quinn Williams. I mean, I think Judkins, who was on the love list yesterday, I think he scores potentially twice.
If I'm the Jets, I think I play a 9-man box in this game.
Yeah, like all the right moves.
Yeah. Right, there you go. It goes back to all the right moves.
It always goes
the
back
goal
to
line
all the right
defense.
Moves. The goal line defense.
If I were the Jets, play a 5-man box. Let's make Quinshon Judkins beat you. Like, you know what? You can't let Dylan Gabriel air it out.
And Jerry Jeudy air it out against you. Yeah, that's
Cedric
the fear.
Tillman's back? No. We got to protect against the pass.
The last bit of news, guys, maybe the most surprising on this list. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said Jayden Daniels will avoid surgery. That's not surprising. That's good news. But there's no ligament damage to his elbow. They're not putting him on IR yet.
What are we doing?
Well, if there's no damage to his elbow.
I understand that.
Well, but ligament damage and no damage are not the same thing.
Thank you, Connor.
Was the bone break?
We're 3-6. We're almost 10-point underdogs to the Lions, assuming we lose on Sunday, and I suspect we will. Shout out to our stage manager, Kenny, a diehard Lions fan. It's me and Kenny this week, and Kenny's going to win. Assuming the Lions win this week, right? We're now 3-7. The Eagles are going to be, 4 games up on us in the division? Like, what are we doing? Like, it's not our year. It's a bummer, but it is what it is. There's absolutely he is our franchise. And he's already been banged up multiple times this year. The offensive line is being banged up. Stop. He should not play again this year. I understand that the kid wants to get out there, wants to compete, but if we're 3-7, like, why would you not? You're telling me, like, dude, that injury. Like, I mean, like, it was awful.
It was tough to watch.
It was awful. I'm not trying to make fun of the injury, but I'm just like, it was horrific. Don't go watch the video of it, but like, it's twisted back. You can't tell. There's no way this kid's coming back within 4 weeks. Get the roster spot. Get one. I don't understand why he's not on IR. And I will just say, for our purposes in fantasy football, I have dropped him in the leagues I have him in. I cannot imagine a scenario where he is playing
here's
this
the
season
thing,
again.
They've painted themselves into a bit of a corner by it coming out that there's no ligament damage. Because now, like, what are they actually going to say? Like, oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the elbow, but he's just not going to play ever again. Like, there is a chance that Jayden Daniels comes back this year.
Of course.
There is a chance, and so he should be rostered in every league because he's Jayden Daniels. Particularly if you're in a 2-quarterback league anyway, he shouldn't be on waivers. I picked him up in our league after you dropped him. I already have 3 good quarterbacks. I'm not going to play him. I just wanted to block everyone else from getting him. But Jayden Daniels, he shouldn't be on waivers.
Knock yourself out.
Okay.
He's not playing again this year.
All right. Interesting.
I
say he's on 0%.
I mean, sure. I suppose that they upset the Lions and they go on a run.
They have to upset the Lions. I bet if they lose this weekend, he's on IR next week.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
And they're 9.5-point underdogs.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
There's a good chance that Mariota can beat the Dolphins in Madrid.
Yeah, in
and then all of a
Madrid.
sudden,
They're a
it's like,
bye.
all right,
But then
the Bo Nix Mariota fight.
But then 3 of the next 4 are Broncos, Vikings, Giants, Eagles. So, I mean, like, Broncos, Vikings, and Eagles, I think they're probably underdogs in all of those games.
Sure.
They might be favored over the Giants, although I don't know. Then week 17 against the Cowboys, who blitzed them the last time we played Dallas. And then we're at the Eagles in week 18, which maybe we win that game because the Eagles will be resting all their starters because they'll clinch the division at that point.
Yeah, I think the way that NFL teams are wired and the way Jayden Daniels is wired, if they say they get to 4-7, you split these next 2 games, you go to the bye at 4-7, they're not thinking like, oh, probabilistically we're not going to make the playoffs. They're thinking, no, if we win the games in front of us, we can make the playoffs, and we have Jayden Daniels as our quarterback. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to play either, but I think there's a material chance, and if there's a chance, then he should be on rosters in 2 quarterback leagues.
Who did you drop to pick up Jayden Daniels?
It's just like Marvin Mims or something.
That's what the chat wanted to know.
Marvin Mims is going to have the greatest second half of his life on somebody else's
Actually,
team.
no. You know who I dropped?
Who's that?
Adonai Mitchell.
Wow, that was short-lived.
Yeah.
That was your most short-lived fandom of all time.
I
That's
thought
saying
about it,
something.
and it's like, all right, well, he's probably the number 3 pass catcher on a team that doesn't throw. So what's the upside here?
Adonai Mitchell's going to go off. You mark my words. And Marvin Mims, just because you thought about dropping him.
Yeah, Marvin Mims.
And look, I would love to be wrong. I would love for them to upset the Lions and run the table, and Jayden Daniels comes back and leads them to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. I just don't think the odds of that happening are particularly great.
I'm with you.
And when it's not your year, sometimes you just have to, fold up your cards and go home. Call it a day.
If you need a replacement for all of these injuries, here are the best options on waivers right now. Jacoby Brissett and Justin Fields are
averaging
top
over
20
21
plays.
points in his 3 starts. Jacoby Brissett as well. We mentioned Terrell Jennings earlier. Seahawks give up the 3rd most receiving yards to running backs, so Amari DiMarcado is potentially like a desperation flex. Parker Washington, who we've talked a lot about on this show, was 6th among all wide receivers in utilization score in week number 9. He had a score of week 8. And by the way, since week 5, Cade Otton has a 19% target share. If you're looking for a tight end, I have him at tight end 12 as a borderline tight end 1.
It is Friday, which means it's Dr. Denny time.
I want to talk to you about cupping. Cupping is an ancient form of alternative medicine that involves placing glass or plastic cups on the skin to create suction, according to Google AI. There's dry cupping, which is the most common form, and there's also wet cupping, which I'm not going to get into on the show. But Cooper Cup.
I feel like I'm kind of a wet cup.
Yeah, you're a cupping sensation too.
I really am.
Via nominal determination, Denny, I suspect that Cooper Cup will be doing some cupping on that suspect hamstring of his that has him limited, but expected to go for now. Can you start Cooper Cup in your flex, Dr. Carter?
Dry cupping, wet cupping, Cooper cupping, it's all the same in the end.
Flexual Frustrations with our friend Dr. Denny Carter. Hello, Denny.
Hey, the cupping didn't work out because our guy Cooper Cup didn't play, but the process was good, and we know that for sure.
Yeah, well, Tory Horton, in essence, sort of took the cup role, or
That's
at
right.
least the cup snaps, and then he cupped my Commanders.
Yeah.
He slapped it. He cuffed him. He slapped him. He did all sorts of weird stuff to him.
Like a grape.
Yeah, like a grape.
On national TV.
Yes, it was upsetting.
Denny, boy, do I have a name for you. Christian
All right.
Watson on the Packers. Jordan Love is a man that he moves on very quickly with this wide receiver room. It's impossible to figure out who his love interest is of the week of his pass catchers. Christian Watson healthy. He's caught a couple deep passes since his return. Can this continue against the Eagles secondary?
I think Jordan Love is going to have a torrid affair with Christian Watson's downfield acumen against the Eagles this week. The Eagles are allowing the third most downfield shots this year. Okay, so teams are going over the top to them, against them, I should say. And Matthew Golden might not play with a shoulder injury. They're dealing with the Tucker Kraft situation, missing his 17% target share, 25% receiving share in that offense. And Christian Watson is top 10 in air yards. We love air yards. Okay, you can't feed them to yourself or your family or anybody. But he's top 10 in air yards over the past 2 weeks. You could do worse than Christian Watson. Lots of variance, but I like him as a flex.
Okay. Denny, I want to talk to you about Men Who Get Naked. I speak, of course, of the 1997 British comedy film, The Full Monty, which, according to Google AI, is about a group of unemployed steel workers in Sheffield who decide to form a male striptease act to earn money, led by Gaz, played by Robert Carlyle.
That's right.
Will you be going full Monty, Denny, with David Montgomery in your flex this week?
That's a great question, and I will. Okay, and I will. And I'm not going to have any shame about it. This is the one thing that I want to get across in this segment every single week, that we can have no shame. We should have no shame in what we like, and a flexual spot here. And David Montgomery should be involved here. Almost 13 touches per game, and Detroit wins. They're big favorites against Barry's Commanders. And the Commanders have a terrible run defense. The Lions are bottom 3 in pass rate this season. 28.5 point implied total for Detroit here. You don't see that very often. I like David Montgomery's chances to see, 15 touches in this game if things go right.
Enough to take your clothes off.
Yeah, so
it's enough to. Yeah, I'll take my shirt off right now. Don't dare me.
By the way, The Full Monty is a great movie. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah,
it's a great film.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a great film. All right, Denny, I got an email in here for you. Pete writes in, Dr. Denny, I've had trouble scoring, he writes. I'm in a real dry spell. I just can't seem to score. With my fantasy team, of course. And so I was talking with my buddy, and I explained how I've had so many issues scoring that I can't score. And my buddy said, well, have you thought about paying for it? On the waiver wire, using some fab. And then I said, well, no, but I do have Pop Douglas on my bench. Will he help my scoring drought?
I think so. And you know what? Getting guys off the waiver wire, the oldest profession, really, if you think about it. So, Pop Douglas seeing a team high in ADOT, average at the target, in targets per route run. He's checking a lot of nerdy boxes right now. And Quinshon Booty, another Flexual Frustration favorite this season, is out this week with a hamstring injury. I think we could see more usage for Douglas against what is a pass funnel Tampa Bay Bucks defense. I like him as a flex this week for sure.
For all your Flexual Frustrations, and we have one here even before the Q&A. Tom is on top of something here. I'm starting to suspect the emails Barry reads during this segment aren't authentic.
It's not true.
That's libel.
That's absolutely not true, Tom. It's only one person. It's this guy Pete that always emails.
He's struggling.
And he emails in the internal server weirdly.
Yeah.
But
NBC email?
The NBC email. It's and in the internal.
Pete at NBC.com.
It's super weird. It's super weird. But yes, it is. They're all authentic. I promise. I wouldn't lie to you guys.
To answer more of your Flexual frustrations, join Denny's Q&A right after our show, and he'll answer all of your questions. Thank you, Denny.
Thanks, guys.
Sunday night, a tough Pittsburgh squad faces a major challenge on the road. Aaron Rodgers leads the Steelers against Justin Herbert and the Chargers in primetime Sunday, 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. We're going to take our first break. When we're back, we're answering some of your best questions. What's on tap is after this.
By the way, I just said Aloha Bricks. He's asking. I don't know if it's Aloha Bricks is a he. So I apologize. There's I just
Yes,
we have
whoever
no,
you are.
We don't know the gender of Aloha Bricks. We just know Aloha Bricks is one of the regulars.
Aloha Bricks is a man.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And said he's on the Big
Aloha
Island.
Bro. All right, let's go.
All right.
Aloha Bro.
Oh, boy.
You know what it is? The Fantasy Football Happy Hour regular power rankings.
Aloha Bricks,
Number one, the plus
Clark
1,200 cashes.
Clark Brady. Just as if you watch 12 straight hours of this show, it gets you 2
nothing.
months. 2 months at number
good.
one. It's pretty good.
I think it was worth it, Clark Brady.
Raise the Flags at 3, stays there. Tej makes his debut, or not his debut, but gets back at his return. Valiant Vincent at 7, of course. Mr. T up 1 spot to 6. Ved is 8. Johnny Dangerly 9. Tej at 10. Heavy Meat Sauce up 1 to spot 5. Jonathan Medici, always a strong contender, moving up the ranks. He's number 4. And Connor Rodgers, others receiving
I got some votes. I got some votes. Yep.
That's well done.
My one day spent with the regulars.
Yeah.
Connor Rodgers, the Vanderbilt of the power rankings.
Yeah, the power rankings are pretty
I'll
good.
work on it. You'll see me in there Sunday morning before Jets. What's on tap is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Sundays are easy to enjoy when they're full of football and the fridge is filled with beer, and we're going to make it even easier for you by taking some of your questions where we start right here. This is from Malcolm. Schultz, Juwan Johnson, or Loveland this week? I lost Kraft. I hate fantasy. I'm miserable. My Ankle Plus subscription is the only thing keeping me going. Very well done, Malcolm. Man, this isn't a fun one, Matthew.
No, it isn't. Although, wait till you see some of the content we have coming up on Ankle Plus this week. I think the answer is Dalton Schultz. He's my tight end, 13. He's had at least 11 fantasy points 3 of the past 4 games. Jaguars allow the second most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. And with Davis Mills under center, you don't have as much confidence in the Texans' passing game overall, but maybe you could see him looking to Dalton Schultz a little bit more here.
Yeah, I think we need to see a little bit more out of Tyler Shuck before we have confidence that Juwan Johnson is going to be the monster, the mythical monster he was in the first few weeks of the season again.
Yes, and Cole Kmet, it looks like Cole Kmet will be out there for the Bears, taking some time away from Loveland. Barry's bald ankles. Goodness. By the way, I wasn't sure where that phrase was going until we got, because the last word could have been a lot of different things.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
God it's also an Ankle Plus member.
Yes, thank God it's the ankles. Rodgers and Brissett this week, tough times. You ain't lying about that, but guys, I think it's Jacoby Brissett. He's, right? I mean,
He throws the ball further than 10 yards sometimes, so yes.
True that.
To be fair,
yes.
Aaron Rodgers has still got a howitzer. He just doesn't have time to
And
throw.
he does try to throw touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like when they get down to the red area, they go for the end zone. Yeah. It's obviously close.
It is, but Jacoby Brissett's had at least 260 passing yards, multiple touchdown passes, all 3 of his starts, and so you figure negative game script on the road at Seattle as well. I don't know. Rodgers, neither of those guys run. I think it's close, but I have Jacoby Brissett ranked high.
Who do you think wins in a foot race?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
I think
Rodgers is very slow.
You see Brissett run?
Yeah. He goes forward.
Our last one here is from Jim in Bricksville. Matthew, he tagged you. Standard League, flex spot. You don't see a lot of standard leagues. Flex spot, TreVeyon Henderson or Woody Marks?
I think it's still Henderson. I get the question here, but there's too much Nick Chubb, honestly, for my liking, and for backup producer Pete's liking as well, who keeps trying to sell him around.
Sending offers for him.
Yeah, the league. But as we talked about, 75% of the snaps, that's what TreVeyon Henderson played last week. Tampa Bay allows the most receiving yards to opposing running backs. And I know it's a standard league, but still, you get the yardage, even though you won't get the reception. And, you're hoping he breaks a long one. So tough times indeed, but give me Henderson over Nick Chubb.
Agreed.
That'll do it for What's on Tap, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Some news here at the end of the show. Not fun news. Tedero McMillan of the Panthers has been added to the injury report with a hamstring. You do not like to see Friday hamstrings pop up. This is from Field Yates saying exactly what I just said. He's now questionable to play Sunday against the Saints.
First off, shout out to my old tag team partner, Field Yates. Why don't you break news, Connor?
I'm too busy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can't text the Panthers.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good point.
I have to watch this show even when I'm not working on it.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, so shout out to Field, but this is bad. What's the NFL record for most carries by a running back in a game?
Did Breece Hall get it against the Patriots 2 years ago?
It was like 38.
Pretty close. Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine starting anyone like if Tet is out. I can't imagine like moving off to
Start
Coker
Rico a second
or
time.
X.
Return of the cokeheads?
Yeah, sorry, cokeheads.
Nah.
Like I just don't see it. I think you're still starting Dowdle, but I think that's
Who was
about
upgraded
it.
to full.
Yeah.
So you feel better about Rico Dowdle from a health and usage perspective now.
For sure. I mean, it is against the Saints. One of those guys, like Xavier Legette or Jalen Coker, will have a nice game. I don't feel like trusting that in a game where it's probably going to be a lower scoring game, but that's tough news on Tetaroa McMillan as well. By the way, James Cook, though, fully cleared to play, so he's going to start as well for the Bills. So that's good there.
That'll do it for us for now. One more break, though, because when we're back, Jay and I have our pickup lines to impress Matthew.
Oh, baby.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
Oh, the crown is yours.
Crown is yours.
Crown is yours.
Last call, time for pickup lines. I am looking for a bounce back at 4-5, while Jay is looking to stay strong at 5-4.
Strongish.
Strongish. We'd like to
make it
to be
stronger.
better than this. Yeah, let's make it stronger. What do you got, Jay?
I'm going to take, Matthew, Quinshon Judkins, chubby leather daddy.
Yes, sir.
On the love list. Over 82.5 rushing yards going up against the Jets defense that doesn't have Quinnen Williams. They give up over 5 yards per carry when Quinnen Williams is not out there. The past 2 games where the Browns have had game script to run the ball, Judkins has gotten 25 and 23 carries. He's off the injury report, not at all on it with that shoulder injury that he left the game against the Patriots. So Quinshon Judkins, I think in a game where the Browns are 2.5-point favorites, who get 20-plus carries, he'll have at least 83 rushing yards.
Yeah, Jets run defense without Quinnen Williams, much different story. Matthew, I'm going with Hunter Henry over 34.5 receiving yards. Fantasy Life projects him for over 46 for good reason.
Yeah.
They have no Kayshon Boutte in this game. Last week when they were dealing with some injuries, his target share went up to 22%. He runs almost 75% of the routes. And Kayshon Boutte, he's going to be out. Rhamondre Stevenson, who doesn't do a lot as a pass catcher but still affects their offense, he's going to be out. They're going to go to Hunter Henry more. This is a low number.
Yeah, that is a low number, and Tampa Bay is a pass funnel defense, to your point.
Their linebackers are the weaker part of the
I'm going
defense.
home with Jay. I'm playing against Judkins. He's got Judkins. One of two things happens. I either win the bet or
Good
Judkins
hedge.
does it.
Smart hedge.
And then I got a shot in our fantasy matchup. So I'm going with, I like both bets, but I'm going home with Jay. That music means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Denny Carter, Jay Crouch, and Connor Rodgers, I'm Matthew Berry. We'll see you Sunday morning for pregame at 11 a.m. Eastern. Peace out.